Hello. Right now, we're going to talk about bass notes. If you're not familiar with what a bass note is a very simple definition. The lowest note on your guitar, the lowest note with the same letter name as the name of the chord. Okay, now letter names can be just the letter, or it could have a sharp, or it could have a flat. But that's the only forms that it can take. So if your chord is, for instance, an A chord, it's going to have an A bass. But if the chord is A minor, it's also going to have an A bass because there's no such thing as a minor note. The chord is minor, but the bass note is still A. A and A minor have the same bass, and it's A. Now, I'll relate these to chords in a second, but I'm just going to give you a few, bits of information to start with. Okay, so the bass note is the lowest note with the same letter name as the name of the chord. Again, for instance, if your chord is G, your bass note will be a G. Now, see, you're starting to catch on. That's good. Okay, if your bass note, if your chord is C, your bass note is going to be C. If your chord is B minor, it's going to be B. If your chord happens to be A flat, then the bass note is A flat because notes can be flat. The chord isn't flat, the note is flat. Starting to make sense? It's a little tricky when you're not used to it. C sharp minor. The bass note would be C sharp because notes can be sharp or flat or neither. We call that natural, but basically it's sharp, flat, neither one. So, so you have these bass notes. Well, okay, where are they on the guitar? Well, at one point, I told you to split these three strings from these three strings. The bottom three strings are one unit, and the top three strings are another unit. We are now concentrating on the bottom three strings. So what I'm going to do is show you where certain notes are on the guitar in case you don't know. This bottom string, the one closest to you, the big one, that's an E note. That's a low E, okay? If you put your first finger on the first fret of that string, you get an F. Now, we don't have an F chord that we're working with right now because that's a bar chord. So we go up to the G. Ooh, now you know a G chord maybe. Well, hold on to that note because that's a low G, and there isn't one lower than that. The next note up is A. See, the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and goes back to A and starts all over again. The pitches change, the height of the pitches change, so that you have an A here, and an A here, and an A here, and another A there. Okay, so they're all over the place. But this is the lowest A, and it's the open fifth string. The next note I'm going to show you is the B. This is a B right here. The C is right there, and the D is the open fourth string. And we're not going to go any further than that because the next letter name would be E. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You don't need that E because you have that E for now. And at this point, this will always be the E bass. That's not always the case, but for now it is. Okay, just we'll limit the amount of stuff that you really have to know. Okay, fine. So you got E, open sixth, F. Do this with me. Yep, good. And aim high in the fret when you aim for a note. Again, high in the fret means as close to the fret wire as you can without touching it. F, G, third fret, sixth string, A open, B second fret, fifth string, C is right next door to it, and the D is open, next string. Okay, so now we start to relate these to chords. Now, the basic chords, the non-bar chords, are the ones that we're going to shoot for. So if you have an E minor, very basic chord, and you needed to find the bass note, what you'd look for is the lowest E. Well, you just happen to know this sixth string is an E, and it's already sitting there. It's already open. It's waiting for you to hit it. It's there. You didn't have to put this E in. It's already part of the shape of the chord. It's an open string. So you would hit this first. Now there's several things you can do with that. You can play the bass note and then strum the rest of the chord. Interesting, huh? Okay, let's go to an E major. Okay, it looks like this. Yeah, all right. And the bass note of an E minor is E. The bass note of an E is E. You are starting to catch on. Good. Okay, so again, you have your bass note 6th string, which is already there. If you move this up to the A chord, the A, again, is the low 5th string. It's already there. Or the A minor, 5th string. The chord changes, but the bass note doesn't because the letter name didn't. C chord. E, F, G, A, B, C is sitting at the bottom of your C chord anyway. You didn't have to put it in. All you had to do was locate it. We happen to know that that's C now. C, okay? And that's how you do it. All right, now we go on to the G. And again, the low G, E, F, G, is sitting right there on the bottom of the G chord. You didn't have to put it in. It's already there. And there you go. And the only other chord you might need right off the bat is the D chord. And the D has an open string. And when you put your D chord down, what do you have? An open 4th string. Free of charge. You didn't have to put it down. It's already there. Okay? And that's the way it works with all chords. If you can locate the bass, it has the same letter name as the name of the chord. It's the lowest one of that letter name. All right? Now, what we're going to do is just play a few chords. And what I want you to do is to hit the bass note and then strum. You can do this with your thumb and your fingernails, or you can use the pick. And if you're wondering how to hold the pick, there is a lesson where I tell you how to hold the pick. It's called Strumming. It's the less strumming lesson. You might want to go and check that out. Okay, so we take an E minor. We say, all right, we're going to hit the bass note. Well, that was the 6th string, if you remember. And then you strum. And a very small strum. Here it goes with. Now you notice that I'm not hitting the 6th string again when I strum. I'm strumming the rest of the chord. And I might only hit the top 4 strings or maybe the top 3 strings. I could hit all the top 5 strings, but I am not hitting the bass note again because the bass note is already ringing. I already hit it. So you don't have to hit that twice. And the pick bounces off that note anyway. And you don't make it a wide sweep, just there you go. All right, that's the E minor. Then we're going to move it to an A minor. Okay, the A minor shaped like this. Move it up to the A minor, and the A minor has the A bass. 5th string strum, 5th string strum, 5th string strum. Okay, move it up to the D now. And again, the D is the 3rd open string. It's the 3rd option of an open string. You have 6th string open, 5th string open, and now we have 4th string open on the D chord. So it's 4th string strum, 4th string strum, 4th string strum. And then when we put them all together, it's going to sound like this. Sit back a little bit so you can see both hands. All right. E minor, 6th string bass, 4 times. Move the A minor and hit the 5th string bass with a strum, 3 and 4. Change to a D and 3 and 4 and back to the E minor. And then when you want to stop, when you come to the end of a song or you want to stop, you could just hit the bass note and let it ring because you've just strummed the chord 4 times and you don't need to hit it again. But you hit that bass note on beat 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See, and it's still all ringing. Pretty neat trick. Now, what we're going to do in another lesson is to show you how to finger pick while you have the pick in your hand. So it's a really good trick, but you need to know where these bass notes are first. And so that's what we've established right now. It's a very easy thing to do. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and then you simply find your bass note. just played with C, G, D, and G. And I ended with the bass note, just the G, and let it ring. Okay? So, again, if you have any questions about this, just watch this a few hundred times and you'll get it. And just work with your fingers together and take it slowly. If you're not getting it right away, if it's not working, if it's not smooth, you're probably going too fast. Slow it down. You can never, ever, ever play too fast for yourself. You can never play too slow for yourself, but you can play too fast in a hurry. Too fast means you don't give yourself time to think about it. So give yourself time to think about it. Take your time. This will all be there. The bass notes are all there waiting for you to show up. So just show up and have a good time with it and keep playing.